Right, we are live, live, live. I just love it. This is the best place to be on a Tuesday night. I've got a couple of good friends and colleagues here with me. We are going to be talking today about real life GLP-1 and other peptide use. We'll share a little bit of our story, maybe give you a little glimpse of what's working for some of our colleagues, some of our clients, and some of our friends. The main thing that we want everybody to know is this is not for your medical advice, right? This is for education, for conversation, and somewhat entertaining. From what was going on before I hit the live button, I think Brenda and Jen might be quite entertaining tonight. So I'm going to let Brenda start in. She will kind of let you know where our conversation is going to go and what we're grounded in.
Excellent. I am so excited to be here tonight. And good evening to everyone tuning in, either live or on replay. I just want to thank you all for taking time out of your very busy schedules, because I know everyone is busy these days, to really jump on here and have an open, authentic conversation about peptides. And again, make comments in the comment section. We might not be able to see them live, but we will go back and answer any questions that come up. And there is never a question that's too dumb of a question to ask. Every question is a valid question. And I just want to make sure again that you know we're not providing medical advice. It's just information and education only. And before I go any further, I really want to start with a very simple question that many people have the first time they hear about this topic. What exactly is a peptide? Well, a peptide is they're short chains of amino acids, the same building blocks that make up proteins in our bodies. But instead of forming those large structures like proteins, peptides act more like biological messengers. They tell cells what to do. They help regulate things like metabolism, inflammation, tissue repair, hormone signaling, sleep cycles, and immune function, just to mention a few. And who doesn't need help with some of those things, right? Your body already produces thousands of peptides naturally. They're part of the communication system that allows your cells to coordinate and function properly. But over time, because of aging, stress, inflammation, illness, environmental factors, those signaling pathways just become less efficient. They kind of wear out. That's where therapeutic peptides come in. They help restore or enhance communication within the body's existing systems. Peptides are not magic. They are messengers. They don't override biology. They optimize signaling within biology. And when signaling improves, functioning improves. And tonight, I just want to encourage you to stay curious and active in the chat. Again, let us know what you're thinking, what questions or comments or experiences you've had. This isn't about quick fixes. It's not about hype. It's about education, empowerment, and offering tools that really help people feel better in their own bodies. And for those of you that haven't met me yet, I am a pediatric neuropsychologist. I'm 61 years old. I live with MS. And about 9 years ago, I made a decision to fully own my own health. At that time, I was 80 pounds heavier than I am now. You wouldn't have even recognized me. I was exhausted. I was pouring into my patients and families every day. But physically, I just really didn't feel aligned with the life I wanted to live. So I began a health journey and I lost those 80 pounds. And more importantly, I've kept them off. For the last 6 years, I've trained for triathlons, 63-mile bike races, which I just did down in Phoenix a couple weekends ago. And crazy me, I just signed up to complete a half a marathon in all 50 states starting at age 61. So I'm really excited about that as well. And I'm not saying this to try to prove anything, but because movement just makes me feel strong, capable, and alive. And if I can do it, I'm going to do it while I can, right? And I can. And so even with the discipline though that I've had to put into this, even with the training, my nutrition really dialed in, I still had these limits in energy and recovery, sleep, cognition, muscle growth. And as someone with MS, those things are matter deeply. And I'll be honest, if you look at my Facebook page, you'll see that about a year ago, I was probably one of the biggest skeptics about one of the peptides we'll talk a little bit about tonight, the GLPs. I thought they were just this easy button, a shortcut, a crutch, but I'm also kind of a research geek. So instead of staying skeptical, I dove into the literature and I studied the mechanisms and I looked at inflammation pathways and neuroprotection, mitochondrial function, metabolic flexibility. And what I discovered completely shifted my perspective. These peptides aren't just about weight loss. They impact brain health, inflammation, energy regulation, recovery. They don't replace lifestyle. They enhance what lifestyle makes possible. So about 7 months ago, I started microdosing with a GLP GIP. After my body got used to that and I was feeling really pretty good, I added in some NAD+. After that, my body got used to it. I added in some tesamorelin, ipamorelin, and these are just some names. All these peptides have different things that they do for your body, and some of them are appropriate for some people, and for some people, they're not appropriate. I had to get permission from my neurologist to go on the tesamorelin, ipamorelin, because I'm on an autoimmune suppressant. And so I love that it's medically monitored as well, because I then know that it's doing what it should do in my body and it's not going to cause me any harm. So you'll learn tonight, you're going to hear about kind of some different peptides that we're going to talk about. And the changes for me have been dramatic since I've started. My sleep has improved, my cognition has sharpened, my mood has stabilized, my workouts became stronger, my recovery has accelerated. Thing I love most is my energy has become steady instead of unpredictable. And for someone living with MS, that is not small. It really is transformative. And those that do know me, you know where my heart comes in. For my entire career, my heart has been with busy parents, especially parents of children with special needs. I'd sit with families who are exhausted every day, parents who are juggling therapies, IEP meetings, medical appointments, work at home, parents who put themselves last, running on fumes. And honestly, every parent out there is probably in the same boat. You're depleted, you're inflamed, you're sleep deprived, overwhelmed, and you don't need a shortcut. You need support. And that's what really excites me about peptides, is that they can provide this foundational physiological support. And again, I really truly believe now there is always traditional medicine has an absolute place. We need it for emergencies, acute care, life-saving interventions. But I truly, truly believe that peptides are part of the future of proactive root cause regenerative health, not just managing symptoms anymore. I did that for so long, just managing the symptoms, going on a steroid, doing this to come off the steroid, all of those things. And now I don't have to do that. It's like optimizing. It's like I changed my whole like oil filter in my body, it feels like. And it's just absolutely amazing. And so for those of you out there that are just exhausted, that feel like you just are running on empty, I want you to know that feeling better is absolutely possible. And when we feel better, we just show up better for our families, for our work, and for our purpose. And I love what we can do in creating this community, because we can change the trajectory of aging. Longevity isn't about adding years to life, it's adding life to years. And I truly believe that. And I don't know about you, Tanya and Jennifer, but I know, I've seen you guys over time, and it's like you're aging backwards as well. And I know you're both really busy, and it really is amazing. It really does feel like I got a whole new engine, and not just even my filter changed. I got like a whole new freaking engine going on here. And it really is pretty amazing.
That is amazing. I love the posts that you've been putting out on Facebook. I hope everybody listening on all of our channels go and follow Dr. Brenda, follow Jen. They both put out some really great content. But your pictures, the new pictures you've been posting are just leveled up, girl. Like, you look amazing, and you can tell through your energy that you're putting out that you feel as good as you look. You're not just telling stories.
Yeah, those
It is
pictures,
amazing.
that's why I was saying before we went live, I was like, Brenda is 60 years old. Are you 61? 60 or 61?
61 and a half.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, she's 10 years older than I am. If she is doing this stuff, I can do it. Maybe not as like the triathlons, but
yes, you could. Anybody can if you put your mind to it.
yeah,
You really
put your
can.
mind to it. So I mean,
You've
just
got the real estate triathlon going on, girl.
There
Come
we
on,
go.
give yourself some credit.
you have just given me a lot of motivation. I'll put it that way, because things happen in your life and it's a wake-up call, and you're like, I'm done sitting around, I'm gonna do the things. And that's what it's all about. And I was just like you, a total skeptic, and I was very vocal about it. And even when my doctor brought it up, I was like, you're crazy, I'm not going on that crap. And here we are. I mean, I'm so glad that I did, because I don't know what would have happened, to be honest, because I was in so much pain that mentally it was like, thinking back, it was really, really hard. Stop. It was just really hard, because I just thought, okay, this is how I'm going to feel after everything my body went through. This is it, I guess. And, once I started getting rid of that pain, I think it was like week 2. And I was like, okay, I better start talking about this, because I started a Facebook group dedicated to non-toxic living and just all this stuff I've incorporated in my life. And I really did not want to share about it, because there is such a stigma about it. And especially because I was so vocal and so against it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start sharing, because, if you can help one person, it's worth it. And I've helped so many people. I was going through my list today. I think I'm over 60 people, because I do check-ins and stuff like that. And I've been so busy the last couple of weeks, I've kind of slacked on that. So I have my list that I'm going to go through tomorrow. So everyone, keep your phones on. I'm going to be reaching out.
And Jen, when you think about that, you've helped 60 people direct.
Yeah.
But if you think about all the people in their lives where those 60 people have gotten healthier and have more energy and can provide, think about really how many people.
Well, and I have
that's impacted. It's more than just those 60 individuals.
It is, because I have several of my customers have given out my name to their family and friends. And I just met with a lady yesterday, went and had coffee with her. And I like meeting with people one-on-one. It's more personable, some people say, no, just do the phone. I like being personable. I like, the one-on-one. I like getting to know people. And, what are you struggling with? What's going on here? And then sharing my story, because it is, powerful. Right now I'm not feeling the greatest. I haven't had a cold in quite a few years, like not an actual cold. And I think I've been being a big old baby. Like, what the heck? But
it's never fun, No, it's
fun. No, I just got wore down, and I have to still remind myself my body is still healing, and I need to slow down. I shouldn't have went from one trip onto another right in a row. Right. I should have given myself 3 or 4 days. So lesson learned on that.
Oh, you're going so hard.
We all have those lessons.
Fully,
I kind of go back to that, those 60 people. Because it's not even then the people they tell about it. But think about you directly, Jennifer. When you started feeling better and the pain went away because the inflammation went away, right? You started feeling better. How did that impact your kids? How did that impact your relationship with your husband? How did that impact relationship with your friends, right? And so it's not just about the person that even is, taking the peptides. It's helping that person feel better. And then that kind of goes out and it impacts all of the people around that particular person.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, because it really does. Then I'm not, because especially my youngest daughter, because she's been through all of it with me in the house and all that. And, she saw how much pain I was in, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, she really has seen where I'm just like out there now and doing the things and living I feel like I'm making up for lost time, because honestly, when I look back at pictures, I have felt this was all coming on in my 30s. It got pretty bad after I had her. So 15 years ago, she's 15 now. And it just was one thing after another after another. But I was always putting everyone else first and not taking care of myself. And so I'm very, very vocal about that with people. It, don't think that it's selfish, because we have got to take care of ourselves so we can take care of others.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
For sure.
Sure.
You have to be your health, you have to be proactive, you have to be your own advocate, and you have to invest. You have to invest.
Yep.
So Jen, we probably will catch some new ears. You've kind of been talking in code about your history and your pain, but let everybody know like what year you were diagnosed with breast cancer.
So the breast cancer was April of, oh my gosh, 24. See, I have to think, because it was like a snowball effect. I had ovarian tumor in 2023, had to have a hysterectomy, and then got diagnosed with the Hashimoto's right after that. And then the cancer was like a year after the Hashimoto's. So 2024, I had to do a whole year of treatment. So completed treatment in August of 25. So yeah, it was a lot. And going into it, I didn't, you don't ever assume once you get diagnosed with cancer, oh, I'm going to be good. I'm going to have surgery and I'm not going to need any treatment, because that's what I assumed. But I also had a doctor tell me that. So kind of told him to stay in his lane and don't ever, tell people unless you are 100% sure and the prognosis. So yeah, it's been a lot, but like looking back at pictures and stuff, because I look at pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh, and a lot of them are wrestling tournaments I was at with my son, and just looking at the pictures, I was so inflamed. And I mean, I've shared that picture a ton. My face was just like a basketball almost, just so much inflammation. And so yeah, once I started getting rid of all that inflammation, and that's what the GLP-1 helps with, is, getting rid of that inflammation. It helps, with the blood sugar stability. I mean, everything. And I was just doing the microdose. So, it's kind of crazy. And I'm glad that they're starting to approve it for other medical conditions now. They're coming a long way on it. And I had no idea they'd been around for 20 years. I thought this was like this new fad. And you don't know what you don't know. And once I started educating myself, especially after I really started feeling good, I was like, okay, I gotta go and find out what this is all about. So yeah, and then all the other peptides. I have several customers that are on BPC 157, TB 500, and helping their joint pain so much, knee pain, frozen shoulder. I mean, we're not saying that, we're not diagnosing here or giving any medical claims, but I can share what I'm seeing with a lot of my customers. And also being paired with the GHKCU, and I can't take that one. I wish I could, but it's just amazing. Everyone is just feeling amazing. I have one lady that she was one of my first customers. She lost 60 pounds. She looks so good, and she struggled. Like, her hormone imbalances were so bad. And she is not just looking good, she feels so good. And, sharing that with her, well, she has a lot of her family and friends now are on GLP-1s and also other peptides to help with the inflammation and different things. So,
How about you, Brenda? How old were you when you got your MS diagnosis?
So I had been misdiagnosed for almost 10 years. So I was diagnosed back in 1999. So I would have been, I always have to calculate, I was 35 when I was diagnosed. Actually, 34 going on to 35. But in my career, I was just finishing up my graduate work, just going into my internship and postdoc. So I was just beginning my whole career.
What were
in
your symptoms?
neuropsychology and how scary that was. And back then there was 3 medications you could take. They were all injectables, happens to be. Now there's like 19 different ones, kind of a
Wow.
thing. But it was limited, and it was a very, very scary time.
What was
And
life like then? Like, what were your symptoms?
I had a lot of fatigue, tons of fatigue. And then if I would get hot, especially if I went to places that were warm with a lot of humidity, my whole left side would go numb, straight down the middle, and it would just go completely numb. But just a lot of mental fatigue, a lot of tingliness on my left side were some of the big ones. And then basically my left side would go numb where I couldn't really move it and
Wow.
stuff. Yeah. And yeah. And the interesting thing is, up until I started on my health journey, 9 years ago, I was having exacerbations every 3 to 4 months, being on, high dose Solumedrol, steroid drips, and then on the prednisone and all of that. And until I started really looking at my lifestyle and looking at what I was putting in my body and what I was doing with my body and, getting sleep and height, all of those lifestyle changes, knock, knock, knock. I haven't had one
Oh,
since
that's
then.
awesome.
And I
That's
didn't
amazing.
change anything else, really. No medication changes, no nothing but that. And so I'm all about, I truly believe our bodies. Again, I'm not providing medical advice. I'm not saying everyone with MS this will happen to. For me, it has, and I'm grateful for it. And I know several other people that the same thing has happened, but I truly believe we can heal our bodies by doing certain things and taking certain things away that we're putting into them and into our environment and being more aware of that. And I look at with these peptides, it's just another enhancement, right? I do this and I find that and it works. And so then I do that, but I'm always looking for other things to continue to optimize what our bodies know how to do if we give it what they really need to do. You know what I mean?
I I
To
love
me.
that. Peptides really are the next generation. I've heard some people say that like from the time that we're in right now, peptides are like what the first antibiotics were when they were first brought in and started to being used. They were life saving. They were industry disruptors, and that's really what this peptide space is. And I'm so jacked to be part of it. Like our company, we were on our call today with the directors and above. There's going to be 2 more peptides released tomorrow. Like,
I almost went and posted in the group, and then I was like, "Oh, we can't
no,
say
yeah.
anything yet." I know. I was like, "Darn it!"
And
I
I
know.
had never even heard of these ones.
Oh, really?
They're going to be intranasal, so giving more variety.
Mhm.
Different people are always looking for different methods. Like I've been
Right.
using Motzi. I did a week of it, and then I kind of forgot and took a week off. I started again this week. That one is 5 days a week, and I
Mhm.
don't love that. So and the Mosa Alpha, I'm doing that one too, which is 5 days a week, and I don't love that. So
Mhm.
it's neat that there's some sprays coming along. It's not like the injections hurt, but you're still in that mindset that you have to
Mhm.
do it every day. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited. How about the sleep one? Have either of you ladies tried it?
I haven't tried the sleep one yet. That's my next one I'm going to kind of look at. But the other thing I just really think people need to be aware of, yes, I believe peptides are life saving and life changing, but the space is also very loud and
Yes.
it's very unregulated. And
Yes.
there's a lot out there that we have tons of influences out there, tons of people just, slapping them out there with no medical monitoring. You have no idea what you're putting in your body. You have none of that. There is no way I would recommend anybody to do that.
Yeah,
You really do
agreed.
need to find, I don't care if it's with the company we're working with or someone else, if you're going to use it or anything, please, 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 please make sure that you're using something that's medically monitored, that you know what you're getting and what you're putting in your body and all of those things. Because my fear also is that they're going to get a bad name a bad rep for themselves because of all of these things that are out there that are from the black market and the gray market and coming over from China that you have no idea what's in them.
I
So if
agree.
you do hear about bad things, it might be that they aren't using medical grade peptides and they have no idea what they're putting in their body.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I have a friend that chose to use the more black market, the glow stack, and she every time she used it, she would get a lump where it was. I had before I knew any different, I used some NAD from a different company that wasn't regulated, and well, maybe now I'm feeling my belly, but I think it finally went away. But I had like a little lump for a long time. And what was it? I was listening to a podcast. Is it the LPS? So is that the right initials? Do you guys know what I mean? That's what like our company, our pharmacy makes sure that those are filtered out. Um, lipopolysaccharide, I
Yeah,
think.
that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And I might be saying it a little bit wrong for the record, but that's one of the dangerous molecules that are in the ones that people are reconstituting themselves. Those aren't filtered. So I do love that. I'm all about paying a little bit more for a little bit more quality. That's always been, I mean, like, I've been that way my whole life. I get that way. And like you ladies, I'm willing to buy organic food. I'm willing to do those things to that next level.
Well,
Yeah, it's our
and
life. I mean,
I don't know. You're either gonna pay for it with your health now or your sickness later. And I mean, I ended up paying for both. And when because we're working on our taxes, and I had to go through all of my medical stuff, and I can claim like all my supplements and my peptides and everything, and the amount of money that I spent this last year. But I also feel better than I have in the last 20 years. I mean, it's kind of, I'm still like, am I really going to be 50 this year?
Right.
It still is kind of crazy to me because, but you know, I look back because my 30th birthday is when I woke up and I fell on my face. I had blown out a disc in my back and I was so nervous about turning 30. And then, you know, all of that starts going on with my back and stuff. And I didn't wake up until 20 years later. You know, it's like, what the heck? And so I honestly feel better at almost 50 years old than I did at 30. And I feel like I look better now even than I did then because I was so unhealthy, you know? So it's like, you're going to pay for it one way or another. And, you know, like today I went to the health food store to get some of the stuff that I needed. And it is spendy, but I know the quality that I'm getting on things, you know, so that you have to invest in your health. So that's all there is to it. Because back in the day, you know, like food was different, you know, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago than it is now. I mean, I never knew about the seed oils until the last year or two. And I'm like, wait, what? And so I make all my own salad dressings. I mean, because they sneak those oils into everything.
Yeah, you have to really watch labels. You really have to. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. And that's what it takes me so long. And I know for the most part what I can get, but I still check because some of these companies are getting bought out and then they're putting cheap stuff, fillers in and things like that. So you still have to double check, even though, you know, a couple months ago, it might've been okay. It might not be now.
Yeah.
So,
And
I love my
also-
garden. Have you seen pictures of my garden, the GARDYN online? It's this thing that hydroponic that grows. I'll have to put some, I'll show you guys it later, but I'm growing all my own veggies and all my own stuff. And I just get to go clip it for my salad every night. And it's just like, it's amazing. And it's so easy. Awesome. It's AI generated. I know exactly what I'm getting with it. And I just absolutely love it. It's amazing.
You know, I have 2 of those in my garage that I'm not using.
Oh no!
I know. I had them set up for a while. And then I don't know, I got nervous about it because like I didn't know, like especially with that water and sitting in my house, I have sunlight exposure basement, but all that water and then all the white stuff on it, I'm like, is this mold or is this mineral or what is it? And then I just and that about that time I got my food allergies done, and pretty much anything that I could grow in it I wasn't supposed to eat at that time anyway. Yeah, so yeah. I should get them back out. I really should.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. I did one of those food sensitivities too, and it was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be really skinny because I can't eat anything. So I eat a lot according to my blood type. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that.
What is your blood type?
And mine is O negative.
Oh, so you're the meat eater.
Yes. Yep. So I get it, and that makes sense because years ago I tried this 21-day cleanse thing, and the first 3 days you were able to have meat, and then after that for the next 19 days or 18 days it was like all veggies and it was just all plant-based. I made it 2 days without meat, and I was like, I need my meat. I just have to have my meat. So yeah.
But again, I think even when we look at, the peptides and all that, I mean, I really do think it like resets our bodies, and so getting rid of some of those sensitivities and some of those things, because I think it helps our body get back to where it is supposed to be.
So I used to have such bad guts. I couldn't eat anything and I would get sick. And I was really nervous about the GLP-1 because you hear, it causes all this stomach issues and stuff. It actually healed my gut. And I looked into that more, and it was because it works on your hormones and all of that. And so it balances all of that out. Yeah. So my stomach, I mean, for the most part, it's pretty good. Well, and like when I was in Mexico, I was really nervous when I was in Mexico. I was good. I was completely fine. So the only time that I have issues is if I eat something, like when we go out, I can tell if it's cooked in some sort of seed oil.
Yeah.
Because my stomach will kind of start hurting and stuff like that, but it's nothing like it used to be. I mean, it's so much better. And I have a lady that she had ulcerative colitis, I think. And I'm like, make sure you put all that on the health assessment and let them know all the meds you're on and stuff. And her stomach has been good. So, it's amazing on some of the things, but I mean, I don't know. I'm sold for life.
Yes. Brenda, that's so awesome that your neurologist was willing to sign off on it for you. Yeah. Today in the director's meeting, there's a couple of people, and that's hot on the topic, is to try to figure out how to help people, because a lot of people, their regular providers won't do what yours did. They won't sign off because they're not educated on peptides, and they don't feel comfortable doing it. So that was really a blessing. Maybe you don't even realize how much so.
Oh no, I know it is. And the nice thing is my neurologist is in the same department I am. He's just upstairs at my office.
Nice.
And he also knows what I do. And I also brought him research.
Yes. Well, and he
did my own research.
You're not an average patient, so I'm sure
well, I think for people, if they are concerned about that or want that, they can, our company and specifically has tons of great research. That's where I got it from, right? Yeah. And I brought it in. And again, because my MS has been really, really stable because of all the other things I did leading up to this, with lifestyle changes and those kind of things, he really, he's like, yep, I don't see any problem with it. We'll see you back in 6 months. If anything changes or whatever, come back in and we'll do some more blood work. He says, yeah. So
So
Yeah, no, I was very thankful because I was worried.
my oncologist was the same way because I started testosterone pellets. It's because my DEXA scan showed significant bone loss just in the 1 year from going through chemo, getting thrown into menopause, all of that stuff. And I tried getting a sign off from my primary care. She said, absolutely not. My old oncologist was not for it. I even brought in all the paperwork. And I have a new oncologist now. I brought in all the paperwork, all the studies. There's a provider, her name's Dr. Rebecca Glasser, might be saying that wrong, out of Ohio. She used to be a breast cancer surgeon, and she quit and is strictly treating patients now, breast cancer patients, with testosterone therapy, and brought all of the studies in, brought in all the documentation, and he was just excited. He was like, this is amazing. And I love him because he will take whatever I bring in, whatever documentation, he'll go and he will actually, I know that he reads it and everything because he'll bring it back at our next appointment with everything highlighted, and we go over everything. And and bottom line is, it's my body, and I love that he respects that,
Right.
So, but yeah, he was like, this is amazing, because I didn't take the hormone blockers, I didn't take the aromatase inhibitors. My testosterone pellet has a little bit of that in it, and so he was thrilled with that because I wasn't taking it in the first place. So yeah, and I feel like my bones don't really hurt like they used to. It's weird to explain. Other people have gone through chemo and stuff, like especially in the winter, your bones hurt. Like the cold just makes your bones hurt. And since I started the testosterone, I don't have that achy, I guess, that would come on just when I would get cold, really. And my back, with all my back issues, my herniated disc and stuff, I still have a little bit of pain, but it's nothing like it was. So
yeah. Well, and the other thing is that it was really interesting because after when I had put in the stuff, through our company to get the peptide, and then I was told that I needed to get my neurologist to sign off. I was kind of sad, and kind of worried about it. But I checked out something else. I went to another company that said they have medical supervision to just go through their process. They didn't ask me at all.
Really?
Didn't ask me at all for it, which basically told me they're just slinging peptides, right? And they're not really looking out for my best interest from a medical perspective. Yeah, they didn't ask. So I, of course, never used them. But yeah, because I just wanted to check it out to see.
Well, that's good to know. That's really good to know.
Didn't ask at all. Didn't say I had to get anything. They were just going to ship it off to me.
Wow.
Yeah, no, ours, I got denied, and I don't even remember what peptide it was.
GHKCU?
It might have been. I don't remember. No, it wasn't that, because it was just recently, and they said, I need a letter from your oncologist. And I was like, oh, never mind. Which I should just call my oncologist, because I'm sure he probably would send the letter over. But I don't go see him until next month. So I'll just bring it up. I would rather bring it up and talk to him face to face so we can talk about it, rather than if I call to get the letter, the nurse will go to him, and then I'm sure he would just do the letter. I would rather talk to him face to face. And so I'll just wait until I go see him next month. And then I'll have to go back and look to see, because I have it wrote down on which one it was. I wonder if it was the sleep one.
Oh, maybe.
The
other thing I really, really like is that within ours, because I've had 3 people now that have a lot of medical stuff going on, and so I love that through our company, they can go in and have that one-on-one consult with our holistic doctor that we have now, so that they can actually talk through it with that person who specializes in, all of this and knows all of that before they even, so they can go in and kind of do their own research on stuff, but then they can have that before they actually then request one to find out really what they should or shouldn't kind of take as well. So I'm really excited about having that as an option for people as well. I mean, it's just, again, it's that really great medical kind of model where we're not just slinging peptides. We're not just throwing it at whatever. It really is looking at what is that person individually, what's going on for them, what they need to help their body, because all of our bodies are different.
Exactly.
fully integrated. I got turned down for Simorlin because I put hypothyroid. So
Mhm.
that one I got turned down for. So yeah, I agree. It's really one of those things where you they're yes, they are found in our bodies. They are naturally building blocks, but they can be contraindicated. So
Right.
yeah, I'm with you, gals. I don't mind being told no when it's appropriate. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Rather than just clickbait and buying and guessing. So that's
Well, and I even had I don't see. I don't know what peptide it was. Obviously, I need NAD
There's
or
so many.
but I had a naturopath that was like, "Oh yeah, I can get that for you, not a problem at all." I for some reason I didn't get it. I think I went and I researched it more and I was like, "No, I don't feel comfortable with it." And then tried getting it through I think it was Sermorelin or IPA Tessa. It was one of those. Tried getting it through Ellie and they were like, "Absolutely not," because of my breast cancer history and I'm like, "Well, why?" So I went and researched it more. And it's kind of funny that, the functional med provider was like, "Oh yeah, not a problem at all. Here, you can take this." But then these guys are saying no, which once I went and read up about, the growth hormone stuff and all of that, especially when you have had cancer, you don't want to be taking that stuff.
Yeah.
So
You don't want some of those bad cells to be grown back.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Which I'm like, I don't think I have any bad cells, but even if you have just one, it
Mhm.
can go like wildfire, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I was really, I mean, I was kind of upset because I was like, I really wanted to try that. I wanted to try it because my husband was on Sermorelin, sleeps like a baby. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I
not
sleep
fair.
pretty good for the most part, but nothing like he does.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the only reason I wanted to try that one is it helps so much with your sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like the GLP-1 GIP, that's my favorite. When you think about the potential of, we know that the body can heal. And one, when you're not craving processed food or you're not craving sugar. So there's many just multi-level of healing
Mhm.
opportunities when you're not putting this poison in your mouth. So
Mhm.
just that I don't know what about it. It seems to make you want better food.
Mhm.
And that food noise, I did not understand what that meant, and I didn't think that I had it or I didn't think I was plagued with it until it was gone. So that is amazing. And then we know that the majority, like we talked about leaky gut a little bit, we
Mhm.
know the majority of the disease, dis-ease in our body really comes from that oxidative stress process,
Mhm.
comes from inflammation, comes from, I always talk about your gut should be like a coffee filter, not like a screen door. So
Mhm.
leaky gut is the doorway to disease because then food proteins are in your blood, which causes an inflammatory reaction, which then it just is wrecking everything. So
Mhm.
when all of that calms down, then your body's just like, all right, I can go fix this stuff. So the level of healing that can happen is profound when that inflammation is finally under control. Most of the time, that inflammation, your CRP is going to look fine. Most of that inflammation is in your gut.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. It's crazy when people don't really, and think about, like, I think about all growing up, how many since I was born, how many times I've been on antibiotics. I mean, they just used to throw those at you,
Yeah,
all of the time. It was just boom, 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 boom. And I just think
yeah.
about throughout all those years and what that has did to my microbiome. And it's
I
taken
know.
me probably this full 9 years that I've been really working on my overall health to actually fix that.
Well, that's
It's
why
crazy.
today I was like, really? Do I need to take these antibiotics? I'm like, okay, it's been 2 weeks and I am just feeling, and the stuff that I've been coughing up and blowing out my nose, I'm like, I definitely have something going on. I've tried all the natural stuff, and so I'm like, okay, but I have a good probiotic, and so
Yep.
it's like learning those things, right? I mean, we still need to do that for our own health, and we still need to take these other things and all that kind of stuff. But it's then, what do we know about the impact of those that could also be negative? And then what do we do afterwards to help our bodies heal from that as well?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, I know. I'm bringing a bunch of stuff down to my brother because he has some stuff going on. And so I went to the health food store today and got some stuff for him too. And I'm like, if I have to shove it down his throat, I'm going to. So I'm just like, I don't know. Because when he was here, he started asking me different things. So the door was kind of opened. All my siblings are a lot older than I am, like mid 60s up to 70s, and so it's a different mindset that they have on things. And so I am happy he was asking me, so I'm like, I'm gonna bring the stuff and hopefully he'll take it and can get rid of the toxic coffee creamer that he likes to use. And I got some other stuff. I'm like, of course, I'm like, do you know how bad that stuff is and what's in that? Get rid of it. So.
Oh, shoot. Well, ladies, let's start to wrap up this conversation. Jen, tell us what you got going on Thursday night. We'll make sure we get that in there.
Yeah, Thursday, I'm going to be in Fairview doing a peptide event. So it'll be at the Water Hole in the ballroom there in Fairview at 6:00. And I have lots of different prizes. I'm going to be giving away some those lovely Ellie water bottles that our peptides come in. They're so cute.
Cool. I love that.
So yeah, I put like different healthy things inside, and then $25 gift certificates, $50 gift certificates. I have a bag of our GLP-1 support protein powder I'm going to be giving away. And if we get a good turnout, I think I might do a cash drawing. I'll have some incentives for people if they order, if they have been thinking about the GLP-1 or, any peptides. Basically, we'll be talking about all of them. But I'll have an incentive if people want to order that night. We'll have our laptops there and stuff and can get, help them get their order going. They have to do the health assessment and all that on their own, but get everything going and bring your friends, come and have a good time. We're going to be there answering all the questions, talking about everything. And then, if people want to learn about the business side, we'll talk about that too. More focused on just talking about the peptides and wellness and health and all the things. So it's going to
be great. I'll be there for moral support at least. So,
well, good. But yeah, so Corey Aberly and I will be driving over from Billings and doing that. And I already have a request from a gal. She was like, would you come to Miles City and do one? And because the one here in Laurel was such a good turnout. I think I don't know how many were there, 40 at least.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good turnout, and it's just kind of nice having them so people can ask their questions and learn a little bit more about the different peptides and, all the things, all the things. And
I agree.
Health and wellness is where we're going in this world. I mean, people are sick of being sick, and I love it. I love sharing about it, and I'm going to continue doing it. So
yeah,
I'm going to be riding my bike for 4 hours straight on Saturday.
All right.
for the fundraiser, the Cycle to Soar for the Eagle Mount program in Billings. They do it every year.
Cool.
Yeah. And so it's done at the Y there. And so first year I just did so they basically set up teams and like each person does 20 minutes and then they rotate out. Well, last year I brought my own bike and my own trainer and everything and did 4 hours straight. And so I'm doing that virtually from my home this year to raise funds for Eagle Mount as well.
Good
So
for you. That's
It's an awesome program. That is so awesome.
Yeah, Eagle Mount is amazing. They do such a great job.
They do. Awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So that's what I'll be doing on Saturday. Plus a
Cool.
swim and a run, but bike will be the main thing.
Spring is good. It's going to be an
Yes.
exciting summer. Summer is a perfect time if you are, well, any time's a perfect time. But if you have caught us live or on the replay, please reach out to any of us if you've got more questions about peptides. Questions, concerns, we're up for all of it. We'll be live again next Tuesday at the same time. We are open to guests. So if you've got a good story to tell and you want to come on live with us, just reach out to me and Facebook Messenger. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks,
All right,
ladies.
see you later.
Bye.